Well, obviously, I don't have my stool correct. Whoa. Dear me. Not a good Episcopalian if I don't have my stool correct. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts be always acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Please be seated. As I started the service, I said it's one of the more convoluted services, and I apologize for that. It's largely the priest's fault, not entirely. Partially, we're being asked to be technocrats, and Leslie is saving us this morning, but we'd be in deep trouble without you, so thank you and bless you. That's all I can say. As I started the service, this is supposed to be All Saints Sunday, but our readings are the readings for the 20 whatever Sunday after Pentecost, proper 27. And that is because of my mistake. I got the hymns for All Saints, but Angela was not here this last week. So she did this bulletin 2 weeks ago, and it didn't occur to me to warn her that she had to go to a different set of readings, but that's okay because the Elder Guild also didn't change to white, which is just as fine. And, you know, and we know that in just a little bit, there are going to be strangers coming through our doors, thank heavens, but we want to be done with the service by then. And as part of, in keeping with our study and sacred ground, I just want you to be able to see, boy, the people online now, you can see, you know, if I were better at technology, it'd be even better, but you can see, this is all embroidered, beautiful, and inlaid, as you can see. And it is, I think it's the same on this side. It was given to me as a gift when I was ordained from a committee of the diocese that at the time was called the Church and Society Committee. And it was given to me because we had been working in the city of Detroit, well, and Pontiac actually, with people from the Hmong, boy, it's really hard to figure out what's left and what's right on the computer. People from the Hmong community, which settled in this area. The Hmong were the Vietnamese that helped us in the Vietnam War. And when, of course, that war ended and collapsed, they needed to run for their lives. And so they came to America, those who could, and there was a fairly large settlement in both Detroit and Pontiac of Hmong people. And one of the things that they did is they brought this kind of embroidery and inlaid work with them. And they found a means of making money by producing items of clothing, and obviously with this, of a stole, to sell in order to make money. And this week in Sacred Ground, we are going to be studying Asian Pacific American peoples. And so trying to keep on with my tradition, I'm wearing this today so that you can see something from that part of the world that I use in liturgy. And boy, this is bad because you see that and then you go, oh. Yeah, well, those people had a very hard time. They came not knowing the language. They came not knowing the customs. They came without many, if any, possessions, to a different climate, to a different economic system, to a different governmental system, and to much suspicion. And they found homes, and they found means of making and earning a living and becoming part of this great country of ours. One of the most memorable experiences, not most memorable, but an experience I had that shows the depth of how unknowingly prejudice can creep into our lives. Is one Sunday after I was newly ordained, I was serving as an assistant, and some came into the church who were of clearly Asian descent, probably Hmong people, Vietnamese. And when they came up for communion, the priest, I was not a priest yet, the priest blessed them instead of giving them communion. Afterwards, I asked about that, and the priest said that the priest had made the assumption that since they were Asian, they wouldn't be Christian and therefore shouldn't receive communion. Now, I happened to brokenly talk to them afterwards and had found out that indeed they were Christian. And I bring that up because here was a very open priest, a very accepting priest, a very inclusive priest, who made a judgment based on merely the looks of a person. Something that priest would have been horrified, and I'm sure was horrified, when that priest realized what they had done. And so as we have progressed through this Sacred Ground program, we have seen over and over and over again how assumptions, presumptions, suspicions have led us to make bad choices, indeed, life-denying choices. And that we are not innocent as a country. And even though best and well-meaning among us are often unknowingly not innocent. As we celebrate all those saints, some of whom we know, many of whom we have no idea who they are, we remember that they created and sustained this church in trust to pass it on to us, yet another generation, and that we are being asked in trust to sustain and pass this on to yet another generation. And that is not without sacrifice. Jesus sees many important people making great posturing of their gifts to the temple. And then he sees the poor widow who puts in an insignificant amount, except in relation to her wealth she put in from her need rather than her abundance. We all do very well to ponder and to think. Are we reaching out? Are we doing things out of our abundance, or are we giving out of our substance? Certainly in this nation, we are undergoing a major sort of discussion of that. Should the very, very wealthiest among us be giving to support everyone else, or should they be exempt from even giving a small amount? Are we, when we feel in need, when we feel uncertain, are we keeping back for ourselves something which God is asking us to expend on others? As I say, in just a little bit, we will be partaking in the Impact Weekend and inviting some people to join us making plarn, which I already know more about than I ever wanted to know. And I'm looking forward to spending several hours making it, as are some of the other people in this parish, in this church right now. Those of you who are online, feel blessed that you are not having to partake. But you might think about what you can do in order to be giving of your substance, not of your excess. Let us now reaffirm our faith in the words of the Nicene Creed, found on page 368.